Hello everybody and welcome to the NCL Week 2, and this week I'm versing Austin and the Atlanta Staraptors. Um, I'm bringing a Fire MZ Overheat Salazzle. I was expecting Mega Aggron, that's what that was for. I'm bringing my Mega Pidgeot, a Focus Sash Suicide Lead Aerodactyl. I actually have a Adrenaline Orb Excadrill for the Arcanine. I have a Choice Scarf Primarina also for things like the Arcanine. And I think that would outspeed a non-scarfed Kyurem as well, but I was expecting Kyurem to be scarfed during this match, just from looking at his team. Makes the most sense to me. And then I've got an Assault Vested, max HP, max special defense Serena. If you want to have a closer look at what my team is, it's just below me on the screen. But yeah, he's bought their Raikou, the Alomomola, the Amoonguss, the Arcanine, the Kyurem Black, and the Swallow. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, expecting. Don't know what to expect from the Raikou really. Just some coverage moves. Gonna hit my half my team that I bought pretty well. What I'm thinking. Alomomola is just gonna stall. Amoonguss is just gonna stall. Arcanine's just gonna sit in front of things, and gonna be able to tank hits pretty well, especially for my physical attackers. Kyurem is, I'm assuming, Scarfed, gonna put out a lot of damage that way, and then Swallow is most likely Specs, something like that. Anyway, we'll get into the match and we'll see how we go. Also, Austin does do YouTube videos as well. He's just started, so I'll chuck his link in the description if you want to go check him out. Nice guy, good battler, and yeah, definitely recommend checking out his content. Alright, just jump in. I do lead with my Aerodactyl because it was my lead with the Focus Sash there 100% of the time, or 99% of the time. I do get rocks up as he switches out his Raikou and brings Alomomola in, which I just switch into my Assault Vested Serena off of that. And I just U-turn out here for some momentum because there's no way Alomomola is going to be sitting in on a Power Whip or something like that. And that allows me to get my Mega Pidgeot in, which not anything on his team is really going to want to take a Hurricane. Like, the Raikou doesn't mind it too much, but that still does a decent chunk of damage. And that allows me to go into my Excadrill right there, but he does show the Aura Sphere, which, I mean, I should have realized when it was the shiny sprite, but I didn't think about that at all, to be honest. But, I mean, still, Excadrill was my only real switch in here. Like, if he'd gone for Thunderbolt on anything else except maybe the Serena, then, like, everything would have taken damage. I could have gone into Serena. Serena, probably, with the Assault Vest, wouldn't have minded to take pretty much anything that Raikou had, but then, like, I'm going to be sitting in there, Serena against Raikou, and I don't think I really deal with that too well. And we see it does a lot of damage there, and we see that it's Life Orb. At this point, I'm just going to be keeping my Excadrill for fodder. Like, he couldn't stay in there in case I was faster, like Scarf or something like that. But I just switch into Serena because they can take anything. It can take the Aura Sphere or the Thunderbolt from the Raikou. I get a knockoff on the Arcanine there, and I just switch in my Excadrill here, just sacking it off at this point. But he goes for the Wild Charge, probably expecting me to bring in Primarina on the Flare Blitz or something like that. But at this point, I was just trying to get rid of Excadrill, so I can bring something in for free. And so he shows the Wild Charge and the Extreme Speed, which I knew he would have the Extreme Speed. Wild Charge wasn't something that he could have as well. And that allows me to bring in my my Mega Pidgeot, which is going to be able to do a chunk of damage to the Arcanine. I think it even took it out from that range. And it's going to do a chunk to the Alamomola that he switches in, which he's just going to sack off at this point because it's got no real chance of doing anything, and that allows him to bring his Kyurem in for free, which is him bringing it in like that showed me that it is Choice Scarf for sure, and that's just a easy switch into my my Serena here, because he was most likely going to go for the electric move just because it hits half my team, hits everything on my team that's left. If he had gone for the Ice Beam and he was Scarfed, then I could have gone into Primarina or Salazzle after taking that hit from Kyurem, and I don't think that the Ice Beam from the Kyurem would kill my Serena at the range that she was at, and that would lock him into the Ice Beam and allow me to switch into Primarina or Salazzle basically for free. But otherwise, yeah, he just goes out and I just get another knockoff on the Amoonguss, and I U-turn for some more damage and switch into Mega Pidgeot, who gets poisoned from this Sludge Bomb, which is a bit annoying, but at this point I don't think it's too bad. And that's just going to allow me to get another Hurricane off, and it's going to take out this Arcanine at this point, which also, once again, does allow him to bring in whatever he wants for free. And he's going to bring in the Swallow, which is actually going to be quite tough for me to deal with. I go into Primarina here, not really sure why, because that's just a sack. I should have just sacked off Mega Pidgeot at that point and gone into Primarina instead, for free, or into Aerodactyl here. He switches out the Swallow there, not knowing that he's faster than me because I'm actually running Adamant. But that allows me to get some nice chunk off on that Amoonguss and finish it off with the wing attack. And he's going to bring the Kyurem back in, and I'm going to be able to finish him off with the Rock Slide here. I think Jolly would have still taken out the Kyurem at that point, but I still stand by taking the Adamant one just so I could make sure I get enough damage off on things. And yeah, Aerodactyl's gonna pull out a few kills for me, which is neat. And he comes back into Swallow. He finds out here that I am indeed slower than him, and he was like, "Why? Why are you running? Why are you running Adamant instead of Jolly?" But that allows me to switch in my Serena to take the hit with her Assault Vest and get the kill with the knockoff. So a solid 3-0 win there for me. If I didn't sack off the Primarina there, that could have been useful for dealing with things like the Swallow and stuff like that. Because obviously from full health, Primarina could take one hit from the Swallow and be able to knock it out with Ice Beam or something like that, more than likely. So sacking off the Mega Pidgeot would have been a much better play for me in the long run. Salazzle not even hitting the field, it would have died to Swallow no matter what. A Boom Burst did 130% minimum or something like that. So, while Salazzle could have done something, gotten off a Fire MC overheat at some point in the game, I didn't get the opportunity to switch into that and show that off, which is unfortunate, but not a big deal in the long run. I'm just lucky that I managed to bait out the Swallow into the Kyurem to die to my Rock Slide from Aerodactyl. Just because, like, I think as me and Monster were talking, me and Monster Austin were talking about after the game, his Kyurem pretty much ran through my team at this point. If he had gotten rid of my Focus Sash, because it was scarfed and outsped my whole team at that point, and there would have been nothing I would have been able to do. I'm pretty sure like Outrage from it would have OHKO'd pretty much everything that was left. Maybe Serena lived a hit, but I've got Knockoff and Power Whip, Rapid Spin, and U-Turn, so I don't think I would have been able to do enough damage back. Potentially could have knocked off its Choice Scarf and finished with Salazzle. If I did live an Outrage hit, which I'm not sure of, like, I haven't done those calcs, so I guess I could see, but anyway, it was a great game by Austin. Had me on the edge of my seat. It was exciting, and I do look forward to playing him again. That puts me, I think, at 1-1 -2 or -1, -2. I think. I think my first game was a 0-5 loss. Either way, not the best differential, but like Ian has gotten together a pretty decent bunch of battlers for this league, so it's definitely going to be a challenge to do well every week for sure. I feel like I didn't have the greatest matchup against Austin's team this week, but like he was saying, he also didn't feel like he had the best matchup against mine, so yeah, I don't know. It was something. Anyway, thank you for watching, and we'll see you for next week's battle. Catch you later.